Today we're going to take a look at Rondo cello strings. Now, Thomastik's Rondo strings for violin are, in my opinion, some of the nicest sounding violin strings to my ear. I love that sweet tonality, and I think one of our playtesters put it best, playing with those Rondo violin strings, it's like painting with a full palette of color. I really want to see, does that hold true for the cello version? So today I'm going to be comparing the Rondo cello strings with Thomastik's own Versum Solo. These are wonderful soloist strings, as well as our shop standard setup, and that is a Spirocore on the G and C, and then Larsen Soloist on the D and A. We really like this setup here at Shar because it's just a really solid overall general purpose sort of setup. This is great for ensemble and solo. Let's see where Rondo cello strings lands on this spectrum. I want to know, are they really solid soloist strings, or are they really good ensemble strings, or somewhere in the middle? I've wrangled Quinn to help us out, so without further ado, let's check out Thomastik's Rondo strings for cello. So Quinn, what did you think about Rondo cello strings?
I think that they're a really great all-around cello string option, especially for advancing players.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. I think they had a lot of nice texture to them, and in particular, I really wanted to hear your thoughts on the Rondos versus the Versum Solos.
Mm-hmm. I definitely think that the Versum Solos were a bit brighter, more resonant. Obviously meant more for solo playing.
And that makes a lot of sense, sure.
Right, yeah. And then the Rondos, I think, are a bit mellower and could blend a bit better with ensembles as opposed to the Versums.
And yeah, I can definitely see that. I thought these Rondos, they certainly had a more rounded sort of tonality. I definitely could see these working well for solo players as well as orchestral players.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of curious, that said, between the Rondos and our standard setup, which is the Spirocore G and C and the Larsen Soloist D and A, do you prefer one or the other? Is there something that this setup does better than this setup, or vice versa?
Mm-hmm. I think that the Rondos, compared to our standard shop setup, may have a bit better response, but I think that they're pretty neck and neck with each other.
Yeah. Okay, that's a valid response. I really think as well, they are so close to being almost the same string. Those Versum Solos Yeah, a little bit brighter, probably a little bit better suited for solo playing. But in the end, I mean, if you're also doing orchestral stuff, maybe the rondos are the way to go.
Right, yeah.
All right.
I definitely think it's, like I said, they're pretty neck and neck with each other. And I think that ultimately it's up to the player's preference and what will match their instrument the
Absolutely.
best.
What will match their instrument, what will match their repertoire, absolutely. Well, hey, thank you so much for trying these out. This was very eye-opening for me. And folks at home, thank you so much for joining us, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of you here next time on The Workshop.